Hi YouTube, Neil here with FaceliftInteriors. Welcome back to our channel. Apologies for not uploading for a while. We've been busy building our Facelift Academy, which has taken up a lot of our time, but we are going to be uploading a bit more going forward. So just wanted to get that out of the way and say thank you for being patient. And yeah, we're going to be uploading more going forward. So this has been a highly requested video on how to build a seat platform. Lots of people have been contacting me saying how do we build, if we're reupholstering at home ourselves, how we build a seat platform. So this is going to be how to build a seat platform from start to finish. So as always, if you like upholstery tips and tricks, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell so you know each time we upload a new video. So let's get into it. This is a tutorial on how to build a seat platform from start to finish. Action! Right guys, so here is our chair. We've just had it all repolished and finished, so we sent it off to do that. So now I'm just going to show you how I go about building this chair platform. So first of all, we're going to go on with the elastic webbing, then we're going to put a Hessian layer on for the protection of the webs and the foam, then we're going to start building the foam layers up. So we're probably going to go, because of this ridge here, this chair has a ridge, I'm going to build up to that point. So what I'll probably do is put the Hessian on, put a domer on, put like a 1-inch layer to build that up, because I don't want that sitting up higher than the rest of the chair, because the fabric will come over and sort of raise up. So I want that to be nice and flat. So I'll show you how I do this, and hopefully it will help you out with any projects you're doing at home. So the first thing I'm going to do with this chair, obviously we stripped it all down, sent it off to have it finished. We've redone all the wood, so we just want to check that the stability is good. So I'm just using my hand to rock that to see if there's anything loose. We've already glued it up, glued it and clamped it, so it's nice and strong now. The first thing I'm going to do is start putting some webs on. In the middle. Right, so what we're going to do is just go round webbing this up. So obviously we've done one in the middle. I'm going to do one here, one there, and then we're going to go across. But these are quite close together, but you know, you can, I'd say as a rule of thumb, use 4 fingers in between each web as like a spacer. Obviously these ones are quite close together because it's quite a small chair. You can see there I'm pulling down on that, getting the stretch out of it, and I'm just going to go. Right, so that's our diagonals done. Not our diagonals, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to loop this, so the first one I'm going to go under, over, and then under. So the same round here, I'm going to pull that nice and tight. Then this one I'm going to go and do the opposite. So this one's under over, so I'm going to go over under over on this one. Then I'm going to do one more at the back just to sort of even it out. Doesn't really need it, but we'll do it anyway. Right, so now we're going to put our Hessian on, which is our protective layer that's going to protect the webs and the foam from collapsing through. So you could either staple it on and then fold it over. I'm just going to start on the front by folding it under. Pulling it tight this way. We need to work around our cuts. So this is going to be important when you upholster the chair. You're going to need to know how to do your cuts. So Hessian's perfect for practicing your cuts because your fabric's going to need to go over and the fabric's got to come down to here. So I'm going to go in at an angle, and that gives us plenty here. Now I'm going to do the same over this side. Coming in at an angle like that, then I'm just going to put a small V in here, and then we've got our fabric through here at the back. So I'm just pulling tight. I'm just pulling tight at the back. So now I can cut off the excess there. So now I can fold that over itself and go again for strength. Right, so now we're going to work on this side of the chair, pulling nice and tight, pulling all the tension out. So I'm just going to go around the other side because there's a bit of looseness that I need to pull out in the middle. I'm just pulling that nice and tight in the middle. So now again we can cut off all of our excess Hessian and we go again. So I'm just cutting off all this excess here. So hopefully you can see this knuckle here. I'm just going to cut down into the center of the knuckle just to sort of free up the fabric, and then we could put 1 or 2 into there, cut off that excess. So there we have it, guys. That is the seat platform done, Hessian and webbing. So now that foam cannot collapse through them webs, because I've seen it before. I've seen manufacturers do it a lot where they don't do that, and then eventually the foam gets cut and cuts through the bottom of the webs. So that's that layer done. So now what we need to do is start building the platform to get the shape that we want on the top of this chair. Right guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my doming pad in. So this is about an inch, inch and a half, I think, this blue foam. But it's going to work perfectly because obviously there's that dip down here. Once we put the foam on top of that, it's going to give us the nice shape because we want it to look like that. We don't want it to be flat. We want a nice bulbous dome on the top. So I'm just going to glue that down. So that's our doming pad on. So now I want to put my next layer of foam. So you can see the front of the chair here, the fabric's got to come all the way down to here. But most of the foam, I'm going to finish it up here. So I'm going to put this 1 inch. So I've obviously got a doming pad on. So then I'm going to go on with 1 inch chip foam, which is very firm, which I'm going to staple around the edge and try and level this out with this big knuckle here. So I'm going to try and level it out with that. Then after that, we're going to go on with a 1 inch blue foam to give it a nice top, and that's going to get stapled around the edge as well. And then we're going to go a 1/2 inch over the top and finish it just above here. So we've got a nice gap to finish our double piping around the front of the chair. Right guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to put some of this felt just around the edge of this foam just to soften it up a bit, because it is quite a firm foam. I don't want it to feel that way. I don't want it to feel like it's got a hard edge under there. So all I'm doing is putting some felt up against the edge of this foam just to sort of soften it up a bit. So now we can go on with our chip foam. So I'm just going to start stapling on the front edge here. So I'm just cutting off some of that foam because there's too much, and we're going to do the same here. The chair's got a shape on the front, it comes around, so we're just going to do that because obviously we don't need all that extra foam on the front, otherwise we're going to have to tuck it under, then there's going to be too much at the back. So with chip foam sometimes difficult to cut into because it's so stiff. I'm just going to use my metal snips, and I've had a lot of people on YouTube saying they are not garden snips, they are tin snips. I'm like, calm down. I want this to be nice and tight, this foam. So I'm just cutting away a load of the excess. So it's already got a nice big dome on it, that has. So again, cutting off all this excess foam that we're not going to need. We also glue that down and pull that down nice and tight. So again, I'm cutting around this knuckle. as you can see, the shape's already starting to come, and if you look at the chair front on, you'll see that we're getting a nice shape on the top, which is exactly what we want. We don't want it to be uneven, we want it to be even all the way around. You don't want any bumps. So the next stage is another layer of 1 inch. Now with this next stage though, we're going to cover these knuckles. So we're going to come over the top of these knuckles. So we're covering those up. So again, stapling down on the front to get a nice rounded finish. So on this corner, we're going to take out this knuckle. Now that's why we've built it up to this point, like so. So that is the front all stapled on. It's pulled a bit tight here, but we've got to go over with another layer anyway. We've still got to go over with 1/2 inch and then Dacron. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. So this chair is starting to come together. So we're just going to carry on stapling this 1 inch foam down. So again, on the back, we're just going to cut off this excess foam, put some glue in there, pull that down nice and tight so we get a nice clean finish on the back. Lovely. So what we can do is we can look at the front of that chair now and see that we've got that lovely shape that we wanted, that nice dome. So now we're going to go another 1/2 inch over the top just to finish it, but this 1/2 inch is going to come down to here to give us a nice gap here. So I'm going to leave a small gap to get my double piping into, but that is going to come down to there. So again, more foam. I'm just going to show you where I'm going to finish this. So this 1/2 inch foam is going to give us the nice clean finish. So that foam before was all building the foundation. Now that is going to finish about there, giving us a good 1/2 inch around the front to fit our double piping into. So what we'll do is we'll just stick some glue in there. Right, so I'm just going to make my cuts into my foam. You can see there I haven't glued yet, so I'm just going to glue that down. So again, like when cutting your fabric, you want to make your cuts in at an angle. Like so. Again, leaving ourselves a nice gap. Now we're going to have to work around this knuckle. So this comes up at an angle like so. See there, that's lovely. Now we've got a nice little ridge to work round. We've got a nice finish there on the back. Now we just need to finish around this side. Getting these staples in nice and straight. And then we come to the knuckle again. So Again, we want to leave ourselves a nice little gap. Try and get your staples straight, you don't want them angled. So there we have it, guys, the seat platform built. You can see that we've got a lovely shape there, nice dome, not flat. That's why we put that big bulbous dome in there as well. The good thing to do is look at the angle the camera is now. Get down, just look at your chair, look at the front on. You'll see that it's perfectly even. There's no like extra here or any bumps. It's perfectly even. That's important with upholstery. Symmetry is really important with upholstery. That's how you build a seat platform. There's multiple ways to do it. You know, that big 1.5 inch dome that I put in before, you don't need to go that big sometimes. I just wanted to even out to get rid of some of these knuckles, so that's why I did that. But sometimes you can get away with just a 1 inch dome. I've seen people use just 1/2 inch domes, but it's not really enough in my opinion. But yes, so now we can put some Dacron on, then we are ready to upholster. So guys, we're just going to put our Dacron on. So this is like a thin 6 ounce Dacron, I think, because there's already plenty of padding on it, so we don't need to go too thick with the Dacron. Start gluing that on, and I'm going to bring that just a tad lower than the foam. You could go around stapling that off, you don't have to, but I'm just bringing it. So the fabric's going to finish there, and we're going to have a nice little gap to work with. If you want to, you can go around stapling this where you want it, just holding it in place. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you build a seat platform. See there, we've got a lovely shape there, exactly what I wanted. Nice round shape, Dacron, loads of foam, really nice and strong. So that was how to build a seat platform. I hope you guys enjoyed it and are going to find it useful, and we'll see you next time.